Welcome to the Hybrid Soul Countdown. I'm Kelly Kinkaid, your host, and today my special guest is Jay Howell. How are you doing
Hello,
today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good. So it's so good to see your face. We're back out in these streets, and let's start off with this. You're back on the road, and people are getting a chance to sing the songs with you. How is that feeling being on stage in sold out shows, I may say?
Oh, that was
Okay.
absolutely mind blowing, amazing. I don't think I ever get used to it. It's just crazy to see, how many people like really love the music and just word for word every song. It's crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're from Memphis. And my
Yes.
question, Memphis is so rich in history from so many artists from there, from blues to R&B to hip hop, RIP Young Dolph. Um,
Mhm.
who were some of the people that you looked up to and you wanted to actually like be like from Memphis growing up?
Um, well, that just who I grew up listening to, I would say that. I don't know if I
Yeah,
would say I want to grow up but of
yeah,
course, like Al Green, I
okay.
feel like Al Green is just like my top person to say because that's all I heard. That's all my grandma listened to and my mom. So, it was just super amazing. I got a lot of memories with his music and with my family, and just the soul, like it's one of a kind. So I've always wanted to make sure that I maintain that in my music, and I think I just pretty much kind of like inherited the soul in a
Right,
way.
right.
Yeah, I've always held on to Al Green for sure.
So I'm curious. You say Al Green, so you took it back. What's the first Al Green song that you learned?
But I learned, okay, so it had to be Love and Happiness. I actually
Okay.
I had a cover that I started working on, not recently, but it was a long time ago, and I used
Uh
to do
huh.
it. I did it my own little way, but I never like I don't think I've ever showcased it. I've never performed it anywhere. I should tap back into it and just give people that experience. But
I,
yeah, it'll be
I
Love and
think we would
Happiness.
love it. I think we would love it. Your fans are Don the Howlers. Who came up with that? I love it
They
too.
actually did. We did like I think I put like a suggestion thing on Instagram. Was like, what would if we came up with a name, what would it be? And I
Hmm.
kind of, excuse me, and I kind of let them just pick names and decide, and they came up with Howlers.
I love it. And it's so amazing to see all the videos of the Howlers just singing the songs over and over. I guess one of the questions that myself and the Howlers would like to know is when is the new music coming?
So the album is done.
Okay.
It's in the mixing and mastering stages right now, but everything is done. The cover art is done.
What I love, that's great to hear. What I love about you, Jay Howell, is that your music is timeless because Red Room, you put out Red Room in 2019 and then you put out an acoustic version, but I can play that now and still
Yeah.
groove and find a song. Oh, I'm
Uh-huh.
feeling that today. Let's talk about your single, the first single that the videos you see everyone singing all the time, Something About You.
Yeah, and it was actually one of the last songs. Like, it wasn't gonna make the album. That was
Uh-huh.
the last song I did for Red Room because we had already decided we was putting the rest of the songs out. But I went through a situation again. Well, it was the same situation, but and I just had a lot of emotions. I went to the studio like right before we was finalizing the album, and I
Yeah.
was like, I just I was writing. I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, this song gonna be something special, and I put it on there, and it's everyone's favorite, and it was like the most personable song off the album for me. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's dope. Um, from writing Red Room till now
Mhm.
working on this project, has anything shifted? Because you talk a lot about just the many aspects of love. Any
Yeah.
new subjects? What's been different in this writing process for this new project coming up?
So I will say, first and foremost, I love writing from the heartbreak perspective. Even when I'm happy, like that's just my thing. I think I'm just a
Right.
heartbreak type of guy. It's like how like the Tony Braxton
Or the
almost.
Mary album,
Tony,
My Life.
yeah.
Okay.
We love them for heartbreak music, and I think
Mhm.
I kind of fall in one of those categories as well. Well, I at least want to. Um, but the new album, it's a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot of we have a lot of highs and lows. You get to see more of the confident me and the I know my worth me, but you also get like, Red Rum was very much like I don't want to say begging and pleading, but it was a lot of,
Uh-huh.
not really sure and just trying to figure out like where do I stand in your life. And my new album is more so just a balance of both of them. Me just being completely honest and transparent when I'm high and when I'm at my lowest. But yeah, it's gonna be to me. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the fans and everybody, receive from it.
Your voice is one of those voices that's just so rich, has a lot of texture in it. When
Thank you.
did you know in Memphis, Tennessee, I'm about to be a singer and this is what I'm about to do? Are you a church? I want to say boy and respectfully boy, but are you a church kid?
So it started out in school actually. I
Okay.
sung middle school choir.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think that was elementary, but whatever. But and that's where I kind of found like, okay, like, people like this. Like maybe I should keep doing this. And I just kept doing it. But honestly, it wasn't until I think that was 2019 when I went to Rochester. It was like right after I had dropped Red Room, because I
Right.
remember people didn't really know it. And I went to Rochester, New York, and that's my first single that I first took to the radio was Talk. And well, they knew it out there in Rochester, and they sung
Right.
word for word, and that was my first time just experiencing people singing my song, word for word, even though they knew no other song, but they knew Talk, and I was like, it dawned on me in that moment. I'm like, okay, this is something I want to do. I want to feel whatever this is that I'm feeling right now on stage. I want to feel this for the rest of my life. That was the moment I really just knew. I mean, I've always, wanted to sing and I've always wanted to create music, but that was my moment. I feel like when I was like, okay, like I can do this, like, full on. It's easy to say you want to do something and like you want to be a singer and you get in the studio and you make songs, but it's just different. Like, actually doing it and like people seeing it and everybody's, just that moment. It was amazing.
Is it, do you believe in, I was gonna say, and isn't it a great feeling when you find that purpose, that this is what I'm supposed to be
Absolutely.
doing? Um,
Absolutely.
what was your go-to song when you started, when you knew that, okay, I'm a singer, and maybe you wanted to impress the girls, impress your mama
Uh,
and her friends and the aunties? What was one of those songs that you used to, your fallback song?
yeah, I had a few. So actually, like I remember always singing Ruben Studdard's version of Flying Without Wings.
Mm.
Um, I used to sing at one point Alicia Keys' Secrets. Is it Diaries? It's called Diaries, I
Yeah.
think. I won't tell your secrets. Yeah. Um, and that went from that to I used to do a lot of J Moss, We Must Praise. And then as I got older and like when I started doing shows, it was Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud, and then Miguel, Adorn. And those were
Wow.
like my songs like around Memphis. Like people would know me to sing those songs at the show. And so, it was just super, super dope.
Look, all those songs is a whole show. You
Oh
can
yeah.
look, you can do covers. And
Yeah.
look, sell tickets on that. You talk
Mhm.
about the new project, you're more confident. When we look back at Red Room, which is still banging,
Yeah.
I was thinking about some of the lyrics that you write in it.
Mhm.
We're gonna make love in the morning and
Yeah.
F at night. A lot of people can agree with that.
Absolutely.
Who
And
do
it's so
you?
crazy because that song was not about me at all. I was in the kitchen one day with my mom and
Uh-huh.
she had her friend over. And they were just having girl talk, while they was cooking. And, I'm kind of waiting on the food. And her friend was married at the time, but she was just like, I love my husband. She was just like, but he forgot how to date me. And she was just like, everything's so routine and this, that, and the third. And she was just saying, I want him to treat me like his wife in the daytime, but at night,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. The lady
And I
at
was like,
night.
that's such a dope concept, and I
Right.
just kind of played around with it.
Well, it works. It definitely works. Um, how this whole process, is it everything that you expected so far?
It's a little more. I don't know, because I never really just sat and like. It's definitely harder. Let me say that
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. As you know, I'm an independent artist. It's hard. It's a lot of just keeping your head on straight and keeping yourself motivated and, just knowing that what I'm doing has a purpose. this year has really shown me that, you know, everything that I've been doing, everything I've sacrificed and all the effort and time and work I've put in is not like in vain. It's not going unnoticed.
Yeah.
So it's very, very rewarding in that sense. But, you know, yeah, I mean, I love it though. I wouldn't pick nothing else. I love it. I love my fans. I love the organic fan base that I'm growing, and yeah, it's amazing.
That's beautiful. What has been the most as far as the best thing, as far as in addition to the fans, as far as meeting the fans, what's the best thing about when you get a chance to connect with them?
Yeah. So it's a lot of things. So I know a lot of them, you know, like by their Instagram name. So when they come to the shows and it's the meet and greets and they're like, oh, I'm such and such, such and such. And I'll be like, what's your Instagram name? And they tell me, I know, I know them then. But it's amazing. It's amazing to see how my pain and my hurt, because, you know, Red Room, you know, no lie, it was a very dark time in my life making it, you know, from my job, from my relationship, from just everything, you know. So just to see my story touch as many people, and, you know, I have to hear about their stories. Like my fans were very open. I communicate with them. You know, we message, and, you know, I just hear a lot about, you know, what they're going through and their stories. And it's amazing. It's amazing to touch hearts. And that's the one thing I always prayed about. You know, I want to be great and I want to do great things. But at the end of the day, I always pray that God allows me to touch hearts through my music. So it's
Amen. As an independent artist and releasing your music, how have you been able to navigate through the social highways? As far as deciding, should I leave, you know, should I give them a little piece? Like, how does that work for you? Do you have a team? Is it just you? Do you wake up with a dream?
Yeah. No, it's really just us. It's just trial and error. It's me, my manager. I have a manager, assistant manager, and my producer, and we just figure it out. We just go. We figure out what works for us, what works for my fans, and yeah, I'm just trial and error.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I really feel like there's no formula, you know.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you as far as when we talk about Red Room, what made you and prompted you to do an acoustic version of that album?
Honestly, it was quarantine. And it was the easiest thing to do because, like, you know, everybody wasn't really trying to get out and socialize and be in the studio. And you got this producer that may not want to be around people and this person. So I was just like, okay, cool. Let me see what I can do that works. I hit up a guitar player. Hey, I need you to make some guitar loops to these songs and send me this. And I went to the studio and on my own and just sat there. I record myself sometimes, so that was helpful. I didn't have to worry about, you know, being around people. And it was just something just to do, honestly, just to keep the fans engaged. And, you know, what can I do right now that's going to be beneficial for everybody?
Right. Did you start your career as a writer, or was that something that you picked up?
So I've never desired to be a writer. That's another thing. What the process to making Red Room, like I was always looking for people like, I want to write with this. I want to collab. I want to write, you know, I just couldn't find people at the time in Memphis to help me. And so I just was forced to kind of, you know, sit and do it on my own, which it made me tap into, you know, my pen game. And yeah, but now I'm like very much like involved, hands-on. Even the new album, I work with different writers and they are amazing, but I'm still very hands-on. Like I gotta have my input and gotta have it feeling like it's coming from me as well. But yeah, I never desired to be a writer. I just was a singer.
How important is it for you as a singer and a songwriter to have input versus someone just giving you the record with a reference?
Yeah, it would have to be an amazing reference, and I have to understand the record. I think that's the main thing, and I have to feel like I'm in it. And I haven't taken a record like that's already written for me, and like I haven't taken a record like that. Like I said, it'll have to be an amazing record, and I have to fall in love with it to want to like do it, you know.
Right. Let's talk about the single "Faithful," because I feel like when I come to the show, you heard me. When I come to the show, I feel like we could just a finger snap to "Faithful," and you could just sing along. You know what I mean? How did you put that song together? What was the concept of that song?
I don't even remember. I know, like I said, Red Room was a rough patch for me, but I
Right.
remember being in the studio and like I had a heater on. Like I love the heat. And it was like super, super hot that day. And I was just, just going through it. I think I honestly feel like I had just quit my job, like either that day or the day before. I don't know. I just know I was in a bad space. I was in a dark space. Um, and I want to say I didn't really write it. I just kind of just went. It was kind of like a freestyle. I'm just piecing it as I go and just coming up with it as I went. I
So
didn't sit down like I want to write this out and
right. So tell me this. You start the song with "I played a game." So what game
yeah.
was you playing?
Well, I play the game. I play my cards. It's like
Yeah.
I do what I'm supposed to do in this relationship. Like
Yeah.
I sit back when I need to sit back. I allow you to do what you want to do. I play the game. I play my cards. Like simple. Yeah.
Do you like being in relationships? Are you a dater? What's your dating
Uh,
for right
right
now?
now, I mean, I would love to, one day,
Yeah.
but right now I'm just focused. Music is my thing, my priority, and I really, so I feel like dating now the wrong person would be selfish on
Hmm.
both ends. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a person. I expect whoever I date like to understand like music will always be my first love, and but it's also selfish because it's like you can't really be in a relationship and not have that balance or that sacrifice, and I don't have it right now to give.
Right.
uh, so yeah.
It's almost, they always say females, women, we're the ones who say we just want a guy who's faithful, but that works on male side too.
Yeah.
Do you
And
have
not even, and when we talk about faithful, I don't want people to only think that the song is about like sexually being faithful. Like, and
no?
I'm not even saying that I want to really step out on somebody. It's just like, because sometimes you can just be so caught up in somebody, everything they have going on, you devote your time, all your energy, and it goes unnoticed. So it was more so like, I'm tired. I'm not going to be all about you anymore. If you keep
Huh.
playing.
Look,
Yeah.
tough.
That's all it was. I
Right.
wasn't really talking about I want to cheat, but there's nothing. People take it and receive it differently. So
Don't take me for granted because I play the
that's it.
game.
That's all.
Play my cards, basically. Let's talk about the production of this new project because I know, like myself, we're all excited. Like, what's next? Because I know that it's only gonna go up. You got that your caliber of style and music. Bucket list. Who are some of the people that are you working with the same people from Red Room, and
All right.
writers,
Oh yeah.
the
So
producers and writers?
new writers for the new project. I
Okay.
collab with some different producers as well. Um, we will have a collaboration as well.
Okay.
So that'll be different. And for the most part, yeah. So different. We had a few producers. Still the same producer. My producer Teray Love. That's who did
Okay.
Red Room. Shout out to Teray Love. But yeah, I did incorporate a few other people, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see like how people receive the sounds, and it's definitely not a Red Room, but it's
Okay.
amazing in its own little right. I feel like,
Okay.
but we'll see.
And what about artists? I know another a strong vocalist from Memphis is like a K Michelle. Can we expect any? You don't have to give us the name, but can we expect any duets on this album or guest
Yeah,
appearances from
we
the
have a
different?
duet, and
Okay,
it is a female, and
okay.
I love her. Um, yeah, I don't want to give it away. I'll
Yeah,
just
I'm
wait.
sure. Look, I'm sure if you love her, we're gonna love her.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
it's a dope song. I really like the song, so I'm excited.
okay. So, on Red Room, you had with Talk Kyle Hippie.
hmm
How important is that for you to have other artists involved in your project?
Um, it's not like a deal breaker for me,
Hmm.
but when I know like of talented individuals and I like their craft as well, I do want to involve myself and involve them. Um, yeah, but it just depends. It has to work. Like, and I never want to force like collaborations. I get hit up all the time about collaborations, but it has to be right. Like I have to be invested in that artist's craft as well, and I want them invested in mine and make sure that we both understand and make the music matter.
Yeah. Have you in your journey through this music industry so far, have you started kind of forming different relationship with other singers that,
Mhm.
someone, maybe you listen to their music
Yeah.
and now like I'm texting them and stuff like that. Anyone like that, or someone that's giving, and someone that has given you some advice since you've entered the music business?
Absolutely. I've ran into a few people and I communicate now, and it's just super dope. And I think the most mind blowing thing is when I find out of people that are listening to me, and it's just like, what? Like, oh, they, you just don't expect it. So that's always exciting. Yeah.
Very cool. And as far as when I hear your voice, I'm so, you have range. How do you prepare for that, being on the road like constantly?
Mhm.
What do you do for yourself just to keep your voice preserved?
So that's been my struggle, honestly, right now, like just trying to find a balance and figure out, especially like with the seasons changing. And I don't know if it's because like getting older, like your sinus starts acting, I don't know, but I've never really like dealt with sinus until I think it was when I moved to Atlanta, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Um, so just trying to balance that out. It's a lot of tea, a lot of Manuka honey. I've been getting more into like things that work for, as far as vocal exercises and strengthening my vocals. Um, and really a lot of rehearsal. I feel like the more I rehearse, even whatever the obstacle is, if I'm sick that day, or if just just not feeling my best, knowing my music and knowing like learning the songs, because even though you record the songs, you have to relearn it. That's one thing I hate. Like even with the new album I just did, a lot of those songs were done a few months ago, but I have to like learn how to perform them. And that's what I always tell myself with Red Room, like always rehearsing. I rehearse like try to rehearse every day.
Right.
But just to know it, and it just helps you adjust like with whatever's going on.
That's wonderful. I'm so thank you for sharing the story of how Red Room was birthed. But
Absolutely.
as we look at the smile on your face and just hear it through your words, what was it that kept you going to even get on tour and make the second project and stay in it?
So I feel like I have no choice, and I don't say that in a bad way, but I feel
Yeah.
like when things are, put on your life and put on your heart and put on your spirit, and I'm a man of God, and I know like this is for me, like we said, finding your purpose, which is a scary thing. I feel like it's good to find your purpose, but it's scary because it's like that's your purpose. So regardless what's going on, how rocky it gets, how upsetting and down and low it may have you, like you have to stay that course. You know what I'm saying? That's how I put it in my mind. Like there is no other option. I don't believe in the plan B's and all that type of stuff. So that's my motivation. Just knowing that I know I'm equipped to do it. Like I said, this year alone, I've seen a lot of my seeds. Am I
Hmm.
saying that right? The seeds I've
Yes,
sown.
that
Yeah.
you planted.
And I've seen a lot of that. So it's just very rewarding. And like I said, this is what I want to do. And that keeps me going, having a good team, having people in your corner that, see your vision, believe in you. Like I know my team believes in me and they believe in like what I want to do and how I want to be seen. So all of that is important.
Okay, I love it. And my last question to you is, I know we're looking forward to this new project. Do you have a title for it yet?
Yes, the name of the album is called Honest.
Look, one word, honest. Okay. I
That's
love
honest.
it. I
Yeah, and
love
it,
it.
it works because it's like I said, I was trying to throw it out there when I was like, when I'm at my lowest, it's just been, about being transparent. When I'm at my highest, when I'm feeling cocky, when I'm feeling, whatever, it's just honest.
That's beautiful. Jay Howell, I would hate myself if I wouldn't
Mhm.
ask you, can I get a little bit of something about you or Faithful for the listeners while we go out on the
Oh, you
highways
gonna
of
hit me
Count
like
Hall?
that? Well, y'all
Yes.
show okay. Gotcha. I can do it. I'm gonna switch the key a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Can I get some space? Baby, give me time to think. Is you gonna be able to love? Am I gonna be able to trust you? Hey.
So beautiful. It's the Hybrid Soul Countdown with my special guest, Jay Howell. Thank you. All the best to you and look forward to the music.
Thank you so much.